Hello everybody, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, so that means it is time for a Thursday video. And as promised, I'm going to try to keep up with the use something new every Thursday. So we're going to have Christmas on Saturdays and something new on Thursdays, so we have our schedule cut out for us, which is awesome. Hey Karen, looks like I see my hands moving, so it looks like I'm actually here. Hey Rosie, I'm going to go ahead and zoom this a little bit. I wish YouTube would let you zoom before you go live. That way I'd have it all ready for you, but it doesn't, so I can't. So there you go. Hey, Nell. Hi, Marva. Appreciate you guys coming. All righto. So I have two new products here today. The first is the Painted Lavender DSP, and I showed you that, I think last week. This is one of the patterns that we've got that is quite gorgeous. And then the stamp set is the Hills of Tuscany. Now, I spend a lot of time looking at YouTubes of houses for sale and places for sale in Italy, and I'm just going to tell you, Abruzzo is on my list. Not Tuscany so much, but a little further south than that. And so I am having fun already with this set, but what I am creating is Abruzzo, not Tuscany, but that's okay. And I've also used the Garden Meadow dies, particularly this archway, and of course stylish shapes. I'm not even going to suggest stylish shapes. If you don't have it yet, you just need to get it. It's like a staple. It's like having glue and Stampin' seal and dimensionals. You need to have stylish shapes. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. Now, I did cut everything out. Here it is. Okay, so this is kind of a two-step process. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my card front. And I'm starting with a piece of the Painted Lavender DSP, and that's what the backside looks like, but we're not going to play with that. And then I have a second piece, and it's 3 inches wide. This is regular size, so 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This will all be on the blog tomorrow, so you don't need to worry about that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to adhere this piece across at a diagonal. And what I want is to put that point on that side, and this point, well, of course, it's not quite long enough, so it's going to be a little bit different, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. Right there, just like that. All right, and I'm going to adhere it like this. Then I'm going to trim off the edges, and then I'm going to die cut the arch in it. Does that make sense? Okay. Hey, I'm a little blurry. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll zoom back out and see if that helps it any. I don't, yeah, if it's blurry, then it must be my internet. Let's see if that fixes it after I zoom it. Maybe a little bit better. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys. I'm sorry. It maybe isn't going to it may be too close to the camera to be doing it that way. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this adhered. When I find my glue, here it is. All right. So we'll adhere this to start with, and we want to get the edges here because we're going to cut a big old hole in it. And then we're going to put some glue here and a little bit of glue here. Okay. And we can adjust the glue once we get everything done. Why am I making this as hard as I'm making it? I'm making this way harder than it really was. Certainly than it was the first go around. There we go. We're going to call that good right there. Alrighty. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to wipe off this little bit of glue here. Okay, Dolores, you're good? All right. Better after I zoomed. Yeah, I think, I think we can't do the zooming. Maybe not quite as zoomed. Perhaps I'll do a little test later and see if I can get it good, but not right now. Okay, I'm just wiping off that excess glue. And then I'm going to get my trimmer. And we're going to trim off the extra plaid paper. Important to not try to get the extra not plaid paper. That would be bad. And so if you just put your far edge against 3 7/8, then you can just roll that up. And that cuts off the excess. And then you can flip it around. And because I've got a point up there, let's go ahead and do this right quick. So put the far edge against 5 1/8, like that. And then we can cut that top off. She says. Okay, there we go. Oh, righto. chop, chop. You know, come next week, I'm going to be able to do some pre-ordering, and if anybody wanted to pre-order with me, I'm going to trim that again right there. If anybody wants to pre-order these things, which means because it's a mini catalog, it's open, it's completely open. There's not like a specific list of things that you can order. But if you are a demonstrator, you're going to be able to order next week. Also, if you're not a demonstrator, but you wanted to be, and you don't want to wait until January, when I've heard there's a special coming out, but you'll be able to take advantage of that anyway. If you wanted to join, you could join in December after the 5th and add these new goodies, add any new goodies from the catalog to your starter kit, which is kind of fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this arch die from the Garden Meadow set, and I'm going to cut as close to the middle as my highly calibrated Mark 1 eyeball will get. Okay, so I'm going to go off screen and do that. I'm just going to cut through both pieces. It'll cut just fine. All right. I'm going to get it lined up good as I can get. You really kind of want it centered. Maybe you can't hear me. I hope you can, because otherwise I'm just talking and you're hearing the Charlie Brown noise. You're hearing Charlie Brown noise, aren't you? Wah, 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 wah. All right. Okay. So that leaves the frame, like so. And then this fun arch. And this is now the second one of these I have. So I'm keeping them because I'm pretty sure I should be able to come up with something to do with that. All right. Now, to make our design, I have a piece of white, or no, sorry, very vanilla, and it's going to center on our mat, which is Old Olive. It kind of had to be olive, being in Italy, right? I mean, olive had to be somewhere on this card. I just think that was a requirement. All right, and then we're going to, why is that doing that? I don't like that right there. Let me get my little, just going to give it a little sandy sand right there. Not sure why that's showing. Didn't do it on my first one, but it's doing it on this one. You know why? Because I'm on camera. All right. That'll be good enough. Good enough. All right. So what's going to end up happening is this is going to be layered on our card front, just like regular. And I'm going to have this very vanilla piece behind it. And that's where our design is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little outline of my arch with just a very light pencil mark. And this is not as critical as it might seem. I'm not trying to stay inside those lines. What I'm doing is showing myself where I need to be out to and beyond. Does that make sense? So that I don't inadvertently center my design somewhere that is going to let it show. That just was like the worst possible. That was the worst possible grammar ever. All right. So we're going to put our design in here. Let me tell you a little secret about photopolymer stamp sets. This is what I want you to do when you get a new photopolymer stamp set. When they make these, they have a mold and they put a release agent in the mold, and then they pour the liquid photopolymer, the polymer in there, right? And then it hardens up, and then they take the stamps out. Well, that release agent is what makes it so they can get the stamps back out. And they do kind of clean them off, but they can't always get all of it off. So when you first get a photopolymer stamp, take whatever you clean with, whether it's your Stampin' Scrubby, your chamois, one of these Absorber XLs, and just scrub the devil out of it. You can use warm water if you want, or you can use whatever you've got. Just scrub it real good. And then I tend to take some ink and stamp a few times until you get it right. All right? Until it's correct. What happens is the release agent is a chemical and it can work against your ink. Okay, but you can see that that's a good image now. So scrub, 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 stamp, 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 and you should have conditioned your stamp and be ready to roll. All right? Side. Okay. All right. There you go. All right, let me put that aside. Now I have my Mossy Meadow out, and I'm going to start with some rolling Tuscan hills. And we're going to do the rolling Tuscan hills first in Stamped Off Once Mossy Meadow. And we're going to go kind of across the bottom. And then I'm going to take another hill. There's quite a few little hills. You got a lot of hills. So we're going to take a few hills. I'm going to do this hill over here in full strength Mossy Meadow. See how I'm going outside my lines? That's helping me know where I need to be. And then we're going to do, let's do down here like that. And I don't want a hard line in there. So we're going to do like that. All right. And there's some fun little stamps in here that give you some accent. And we'll put a couple of those on. Like that. And then now let's put a house. This is such a fun set because you can absolutely just build whatever scene makes you happy. And I'm not going to lie, I would live right there if I could. Well, I'd probably need an elevator so I could age in place, but I definitely would live right there. I'm going to take my house and I am going to stamp it in crumb cake ink. Now, y'all, when you see the product list for this card, it's going to be really long looking because I've used a lot of colors. When you're doing landscapes and pictures and sort of realistic scenes, you're going to have a lot of colors, right? So I'm going to take my house, and I'm going to put the house right about there, like that. And I'm going to stamp the roof. Obviously, it has to be in copper clay because, hello, clay roofs, that's what I'm pretty sure there is, clay roofs, and there is a little roof stamp. We're going to do it in copper clay. I'm going to pull it down so I can kind of line it up, okay? You're just going to look right through and line up. And there's oh, it's getting so cute. I know, it's so cute. So cute. So cute. And let's see, I think let's put a little more, what should we call that? Base layer. How about that? Like so. Now look, if you're ever wondering where you're at as far as you're building your scene, just pull out your die cut again, line it up on your pencils, and you'll see we're good to go. Okay, so now let's keep building because it's so fun. All right, now I'm going to get that old olive back out. I'm going to stamp some trees. We've got a couple of trees. This one has 3 trees all in a line. We'll stamp those here. Oh, well, that's outside. Whew, that's good because it looked a little bit weird right there because it's like floating. So now what I would do is I'd pull out my Stampin' Right marker and I'd help that branch tree. Well, let's see. I've tried to say limb. I've tried to say branch. And what I really meant to say was trunk. Gosh. Down to the ground so it doesn't look like it's floating. And then there's also one that has 5 trees. Did you notice? They gave 5 trees, 3 trees. Odd. Odds work. Odd numbers work. All right, and then we'll stamp there. And we're going to stamp here. Those are not olive trees, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Yes, Carol, this is a great set. It is a great set. All right. And then I'm going to take, where are you, little dots? I'm not real sure. I think this is like pebbles, but it's going to be more like little wildflowers, little weedy wildflowers. Did you know that wildflowers are really just weeds? Did you know that? I didn't know that. They sound so much prettier when they're wildflowers. And that's copper clay again. So I'm just doing that a couple of times around kind of the base of the trees, like so. I'm going to do a little bit over here. It's probably going to be covered by the sentiment, but that's okay. All right. And let's see. It can't be under the Tuscan sun without a Tuscan sun. So let's go ahead and stamp our sun. And I'm going to do crushed curry because I think that's what suns would look like, is crushed curry. And let's put him right about there. Okay. Now for the sky, there is an actual sky image. Looks like that. There's a lot of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this in Balmy Blue. And I'm going to stamp it off twice. Okay. okay? Because I really just want it to be kind of a suggestion. You know how it is when it's really warm and the sky is just as kind of a pale blue? That's where I'm going with this, okay? So I'm going to ink it up real good, and then I'm going to stamp it off once, which would be way too dark. Twice is still too dark, but third time is the charm. And what I want, look, what I want is, see, I don't want that image to necessarily be in my scene. So I want the top of this to be above where I put that arch. Another reason to go ahead and put the arch in. Okay? Because, you know, I don't think nature has lots of straight lines. Okay, so there's all that is right there. And that's all the stamping I'm going to do. So now let's go ahead and assemble the card. We're going to go ahead and assemblize the card. Assembling the card. Oh, I'm going to close this before I have an ink catastrophe. And let's see, I have an old olive matte. And this is going to go on there like a shoe. And this is going to pop up on with dimensionals. So let me pull out some dimensionals. And you want a lot, okay? You want a lot of dimensionals on this because you really want it supported nicely. So get a bunch, get them in the corners. Don't hesitate to put a lot of dimensionals. Another great reason to cut them in half, because you don't have to feel so guilty about using so many dimensionals. It's only a half at once. All right. We'll put a couple across the bottom here. And then I'm going to take this, and this is called Tuscan Hills. It's brand new. It's coming in the new catalog, so you'll be able to order it on the 5th. Where did my stamp set go? How weird. It just disappeared. Oh, no, there it is. It's called Hills of Tuscany. There you go. In the new catalog, Hills of Tuscany. Now I'm going to take what's left of my strip, and I'm going to cut into a couple of strips like that and use them on the sides. Alrighty. Okay, I think that'll be pretty good. So first we're going to want to adhere this down. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead before I make an error. I'm going to just take my eraser and erase my little pencil line because it's no longer useful and I don't want to have to worry about where it is. So you don't want that pencil line to be real thick, you know, like don't use like that. Just go easy. You're just wanting it for your own personal reference. There we go. All right. And then we're going to adhere this onto our card, our mat, with some liquid glue. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I have started my Christmas baking. I've got the biscotti made. I have the soft molasses cookies made. I have Texas Cowboy cookies in the fridge. They will be getting made after we get done here. And I pulled out fudge from last year. I had wrapped it and vacuum sealed it and frozen it. It's perfect. It's perfect. So that was a nice bonus. I was hoping it would work, but I wasn't sure it would work, but it does. Turns out it does. All right, so let's pull off our dimensionals. Oh, and I made mini glazed lemon cake bites. Those are my mom's favorite. The biscottis are mostly for my friend in Colorado. It's all she ever wants, biscottis. I make them exactly once a year for Christmas. And so I don't even want to say it, but it's like not even quite December yet. And I'm about ready to put everything in a box and mail it, which I think I'm damned impressed with myself. I'm just saying. Okay, now, when we put this on, what we're really looking for is the normal reveal for a mat. You see how it's just normal? Because we made sure we knew where our design was going, it should automatically be in the right spot. So the trick now is to center this on your mat so that it is straight and has the same reveal all the way around. Okay, just like that. There we go. Alrighty. And then this right here could stand a little glue. Oh, Lori, you're sweet. I'm just putting a little liquid glue in here. All that's doing is that diagonal piece of DSP was kind of coming up a little bit because I forgot to put a little more glue there after I did the die cut. Don't be like me. Put the glue there first. And that side is good. Okay, so there's that. Now, I did stamp, before you guys got here, I did stamp the little tiny hello, and it is tiny, and it's beautiful, and it's perfect. I stamped it on very vanilla in copper clay, and I'm just going to adhere it with a dimensional or 3 right about there, okay? So let me find some more dimensionals. There we go. There's some. Cut these up to make them regular size again. And when I'm doing this, I like to put my dimensionals right on the card front instead of trying to do it on the die cut itself. But it doesn't help if you pull it back up like that. All right, here we go. Thanks, guys. Ah! That one just is being a persnickety booga. Stop that. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to pull out my brand new tweezers from my friend Kathy Fennell, who sent these to me. She noticed my other one was looking a little decrepit, and she wasn't wrong. Look at the difference. Old, new. And she always sends me with these little, well, I'm calling them Twizzler charms, but I don't think that's actually what they are. But they're little charms, and these are very, very helpful because sometimes my desk gets to the point where I can't see them at all, but I can find this. I can always see this little glimmer of silver, so I can find my tweezers in my mess. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a messy crafter, but golly Moses, am I a messy crafter. All right, so we're just putting that right there, just making it straight. I've got room for another dimensional, so I'm going to slide one under there. See why it's nice to put them on the card front? Because then I'm not trying to go, well, how far over can I go? You don't have to worry about it. They're already set. And it's a simple matter to just take your tweezers and slide another one under the end if you need it. Okay, there we go. Now I'll take a piece of crumb cake baker's twine and tie a little bow. I always want to sing the Do Your Ears Hang Low song when I get to that point. I won't hurt your ears like that. I got to do your ears hang low, do they wobble to and fro, can you time in a knot, can you time in a bow? Okay, there, I'm done. I'm done. It's over now. It's over. You can listen again. Alrighty. There you go. A ribbon works as well. Now, I'm just going to use some liquid glue just because when you have a little tiny bow like that, for me, it's just easier. If you want to play with a glue dot, just scrunch it right up and stick it on there. Make it little. I have heard of people who can cut them in half. Now, somebody showed us this. Who showed us this? I think it was maybe at the retreat. I don't know, somewhere. But they did it on the paper. This is a complete aside, has nothing to do with this card. It was just a random thought that I had. They left it on the paper. You can see the glue dot there, and they cut it in half, just like that on the paper. Oh, that worked pretty slick. So now I have a half a glue dot, half a dimensional, half a glue dot. That will not become a normal thing for me, but it is something that we could do. Okay, so either use a little tiny half a glue dot or a little dab of glue. If you go with the dab of glue, stick that bow on there and then leave it be. Let it set. While it is setting, yes, Jell-O cookies, pressed cookie, and 4 different Jell-O flavors. Oh, yum, that's cool. My most recent, most requested one is the soft molasses cookies, which is not even my recipe, but I've totally appropriated it. And I'm going to take some of these adhesive-backed dragonflies and birds. I'm not going to use the dragonflies. I'm going to use the birds, because I imagine that there would be birds flying around, flitting and floating and flying around in my little Italian villa, out away from the rat race. Go get a loaf of bread and a cappuccino every day. And see, if you live in a hill town, you have to walk up and down hills to get there. So calories, you're just getting healthy. See, you're not even getting fat. You're just getting healthy, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alrighty, and there is our Tuscan oasis. Let me grab that. I don't know what that is. That's a little piece of something or other. There, a little piece of There. And there is our Tuscan Oasis on the front, ready to get on our card base when we get ready there. Just a second. Now, on the inside and on my envelope, I am going to make another scene. Not like a scene, not like the kind of scene you see on airplanes these days. But first I need a drink. Hang on. I have a new great love. You guys know I like iced coffee, right? Y'all know that? Did you know I like iced coffee? Well, I found a new coffee called Wandering Bear, and it's flavored. Now, I don't know if y'all know about coffee, but sometimes when you open a bag of coffee that is flavored like peppermint or pumpkin spice, you open it up and you smell the wonderful coffee and the pumpkin and the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and then you make the coffee and you drink it and it tastes just like coffee. You can't taste any other flavor. This is cold brewed coffee. It comes in a box, in a bag inside a box, like a wine box, and it has a spigot on it, so you put it in the fridge, and you can smell, this one's peppermint mocha, you can smell the peppermint mocha, and you can taste it. Every single drink. It has only one problem, and that problem is I have to physically make myself stop drinking it at about, well, now would be good so that I have any shot of sleeping, because it's so good. It's so good. Okay, back to card making. Jeez, Mary. Tangent much? All right, so we're going to make another little scene, slightly different, but sort of like the same. On the inside, I'm not going to put a sentiment, so I'm going to stamp my hill again. And stamped off once, Mossy Meadow. And again, I'm trying to avoid those straight lines on the card, okay? And like, I wouldn't want that to just end right there. Okay, and I wouldn't want to go this way because I don't like that edge. So think about where your hill is and make it continue nicely across your card. Let's see, and then I have somewhere, I have the other hill. I'm going to do it in full strength over here, like that. That gets a little bit of... let me see if I can fill in a little bit. That'll be fine. A little bit of depth to it by making it full strength. And then let's see. Let's do a little bit of hillside. I'm going to do a little bit of hillside like that. And another little bit of hillside with the other hillside stamp. It's very possible to get quite carried away with this. I'm just throwing that out there for you. So, you know, get ready to have fun with this set and just build pretty Italian scenes to your heart's content. All right, where's my 5 trees? Here we go. Okay, let's see. We want these in Old Olive. Flavored coffee. It's so good. They've got pumpkin spice. I have pumpkin spice coming and almond amaretto and another peppermint mocha, and I have a regular mocha in the fridge. It's so good. It's so good. And it's cold brew, which means it's not got that really acidy bit like regular brew coffee has. I don't know if you're a big coffee drinker, you know of which I speak. All right, so I'm just going to do these trees like that. And I'm actually going to add the other trees as well on this one. Every scene can be different. They don't have to be the same. Like that. And then, let's see, we'll have our Tuscan sun. It's called Wandering Bear. Robin, Wandering Bear. Sun in some crushed curry. And I'm not going to put sky on this one, but I am going to put the little copper clay pebble flowery doohickeys. I know, almond amaretto. I'm telling you. Wandering Bear, Wandering Bear. It's so good. We're going to put some of this in the copper clay. Like that. Oh, I love it. Wait, I'm going to put some over here too, because I can. Okay. Now, before I get this all closed up, why don't I do something smart? I know, it's not my normal. It's not what I would normally do. Normally, I would be so not together. But let's pretend like I am. Never had my coffee anyway except black, nothing added, but both hot and iced. This is it's coffee, but it's distinctly peppermint mocha. So it's got chocolate tones and peppermint tones. The mocha ones has chocolate tones with no peppermint. Pumpkin spice is going to have pumpkin spice tones. So you're gonna taste the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cloves, those things that make up pumpkin pie spice. That's what you can taste, and it is wonderful. I am a person who drinks my coffee with cream, not my iced coffee. My iced coffee I always drink black, but this is so good, so good. All right, on my envelope, I'm going to use my Big Hill again. I'm going to ink the whole thing just to give myself all the room. I'm going to go like this. And I'm angling it because why? Because I don't want that hard edge. Oops, don't do that. I want like that. Okay. And then we can take, I'm just going to use this same one again and put it down here like so. Like that. And then we'll put some trees. Some trees, please. Please, may I have some trees? We'll put a few trees here. And un sun. The Tuscan sun shines bright everywhere. Or the Abruzzi sun. There we go. And our little pebbles. Pebbles. Oh, pebbles. Fruity pebbles. There we go. Oh my gosh. You can practically taste the risotto. Nice. Maybe the gnocchi. Okay, here we go. I'll put that aside and we're going to get the card built, and then I'll put another piece of DSP on the envelope flapper and we'll be ready. Okay. A little bit of liquid glue, put it on our old olive mat, obviously. Olives. I've been trying to learn a little Italian, just in case I might need it next year. Oh, I guess I should probably give this a little score, shouldn't I? You know, it's a whole lot easier. Yeah, Cecilia, it's a fun set. I'm not going to kid you. I normally am not a huge fan of scene stamp sets like this, but I really love this one. And I don't know if it's because I'm having a current love affair with Italy or what exactly, but I am loving it. It's way cheaper to make this than it is to get a plane ticket. Just saying. All right, so I have a copper clay mat, card base. And then we'll put this inside. Now you can tell the I kind of thought it would be fun to use some of the other designs in this card. But the purples and the greens weren't right. So I stuck with the crumb cake. You could obviously change up the scenes if you wanted, but I kind of like this color palette for Italy, so that's where I went with it. All right, where's my card front go? Anybody see it? Oh, it's right in front of me. Good Lord. That's frightening. Okay, so let's get some dimensionals going here. See what I got. Uh-oh, I may have to, well, all right. Oh, wait, here's some more. Okay, gotcha. There we go. I had another set cut. A set cut. And you could use black on here if you wanted. I was going to reach for them because that was what I saw, but I found one more set of whites. Really doesn't matter so much on this color palette. All right, All right, so this has got copper clay, old olive, mossy meadow, crumb cake, balmy blue, and crushed curry. So there's going to be a lot of inks listed, but they're all kind of basic, so hopefully you have them all. If not, time to start stocking up. All right, so there we go, and there's that. And then we have our envelope. Share the link. I have a referral link. I will put it, where will I put it? I'm going to put it on my Stamps-N-Lingers Facebook page, okay? Everybody should have a link to that. I will put it there once we get done right here. Mediterranean cruise. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. When we went on the incentive trip, we left out of Rome and we went, we didn't stop so much in Italy. We were mostly in Greece, but oh, it was spectacular. It really was. Rome, and I'd like to see some places that aren't Rome because Rome is very much the big city. But it was so cool because you'd walk on these cobbled streets. There'd be, you know, the Fountain of Trevi and the steps and everything, and then a high rise or, you know, a medium rise. And then you'd walk around a corner and there would be the entrance to the city, the Roman wall, the aqueduct, if you will. It was just, and, you know, right next to modern and ancient, just like running into each other. It was so cool. Really, really cool. I think it's a place I could live. My only problem is the cats. I have trouble with cats because I love them too much. I'm afraid I would really be that crazy cat person. I'd have 7.8 million of them. They'd all show up at my house. And what would I be able to do? All right, so we're going to do the world's easiest fussy cut right here. And we're going to be done, ski. How did I do on time? Oh, 7 minutes over. My goodness. But so worth it. Look at that, y'all. You just went to Italy in 37 minutes. Under the Tuscan Sun, which is not the name of the stamp set. If I call it that on my blog or in a video in the future, I'm sorry. It isn't that. That is not its name. Its name is Hills of Tuscany. So I hope you will consider this. If you are a demonstrator, you can order this on the 5th. If you're not a demonstrator but would like to order it on the 5th, let me know. I can help you out with that. Otherwise, y'all be able to get it in January after the 4th of the year. All right? Appreciate y'all spending part of your week with me. I hope I'll see you on Saturday for, gosh, we're getting down to what, the 4th or 3rd? 4th Saturday? Maybe the 4th Saturday before Christmas. Another Christmas card on Saturday. And then we'll be ready to go. And I will... Oh, Amy, you fixed me. I'm done. Happy. Life is good. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm packing now. As soon as I hang up, I'm packing. Ready to go. I've got us a house already picked out. All right, guys. We'll see ya. I'll put the Wandering Bear link on my Stamps-N-Lingers Facebook page in just a few. Thanks, guys. See ya. Ta.